KSSMP, I think you are done. Okay, give him the mic. You are giving the mic to somebody behind him.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, it's good to remind my senior, policy dictates the budget direction. So when we sort out the policy issues on aspect of hardship allowance, then it will inform the budget direction. So I want to submit this, Mr. Speaker, with honesty. Let us create fairness in the sector so that the children of Kenya, of the Republic of Kenya, receive fair treatment in access to education. Thank you so much.
Member for Narok North, Mama Pareo.
Giving me this opportunity to add my voice on this issue on education. Narok North is a constituency that has really been hit by the shortage of teachers. And I remember 3 months ago, before this house, I brought a question that was asking TSC to consider Narok North as a hardship area. And up to today, I have not received any response from TSC, while we have schools that have a population of about 600 pupils with 2 teachers, because the neighboring constituencies are beneficiaries of the hardship allowances. So to me, Mr. Speaker, I would like to know why I have not received any response from TSC, yet with the schools in my constituency are really going under, they are understaffed, and the teachers cannot deliver to the pupils as the way they are supposed to. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Omongina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity so that I can also support the petition from Mheshimiwa Chonka. Mr. Speaker, in Kenya we say that education is free to every student. But indeed, this is just a fallacy, because in some areas where students are supposed to get that free education, there are no teachers. And the reason being that the teachers are always moving away, especially from those hardship areas. So as Parliament, we need to seriously look into what is really happening. Who are these who are demarcating areas which are hardship and areas which are not hardship? And how come that those which are very hardship, teachers who are there are never given hardship allowance? So my point is that we must be appraised that there is no free education in Kenya, because in some areas our students are not getting that education because of what has been done through not saying exactly where the hardship areas are and what is supposed to be remunerated to those who are teaching there. And so they always move out as they are posted. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Elachi, we should wind up on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also just want to raise my voice, Mr. Speaker, when we are talking of hardships of teachers. I think when you look at Nairobi and you realize a teacher walks into a class and there's 200 seated awaiting one teacher to teach, and maybe to teach nearly all subjects, then when it is hardship, then Nairobi takes the bigger chunk of what is called hardship. When you look at rent, when you look at how the teacher right now with fuel cost that is very high, from where the teacher is coming from to the school, I think they are going through a lot. So even as we speak about all this, Mr. Speaker, one of the things we need to ask ourselves as the House, the President added more teachers. We just need to see how they were spread. Let us see how we are balancing now all the counties. Before even we start now talking about that hardship, can we see the numbers across board so that we know which county has the highest teachers of TSC, which county has the highest number of BOM teachers who don't have enough teachers who are under TSC? Then from there, we are able now to ask ourselves, due to this high cost of living, does it mean now all counties are hardship areas so that teachers cannot transfer going all over? That way, Mr. Speaker, we will have helped the country to balance this issue of teachers, knowing very well whether we employ how many, we will still have scarce teachers. But more importantly, as I finalize, Mr. Speaker, the junior secondary school, we need to get it right as we move on together so that we don't go back to the same challenges we are facing. So with those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support.
The chair of public petitions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would want to speak first as a member of parliament for Kcpe East, and maybe say something about as a member of the chair for public petitions committee.
As a member of the public petitions committee, you have no business saying anything here.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the guidance.
To you.
Yeah, I would want to go back to my initial assertions as a member of
Speak for your constituents.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, most of these petitions are touching on the lives of common mwananchi, whom we are representing here. These petitions are coming in forms of members bringing the petitions for on behalf of the public, or members of public looking for ways of getting the petitions to your desk, and eventually you give it to us. Mr. Speaker, we have most of them have been worked on. My concern is administrative in this House, Mr. Speaker. As much as we discuss the petitions, there are recommendations on the reports. And some of the reports never manage to get to the floor of the House to be discussed. They go straight to the implementation committee. I don't know whether, if the standing orders do not allow for the implementation committee to get time and actually give a review to members on how far they have gone on certain reports and the implementations. I think, Mr. Speaker, you can help us, members as under the country, if through your directive,